Welcome to the Black Gay History Channel. Please share this video and subscribe to this channel for more captivating content. One of the most fascinating books I've ever encountered is Boy Wives and Female Husbands, a comprehensive book that compiles anthropological and historical records of indigenous African same-sex identities and cultural practices. I read yet another captivating passage about gay identity in Senegal, a gorgeous West African country that today legally has criminalized LGBTQ people. There are literally no protections for gay rights in Senegal, but just like most African countries I've mentioned before on this channel, there is clear evidence that in Senegalese culture prior to European colonization, the Senegalese people accepted gay men and gender nonconforming people in general. Over 100 years ago, in 1890, a French sociologist named Armand Cour observed that there were Senegalese men in Dakar, the capital of Senegal, who were dressed femininely and were sex workers. Another account of observing gay life in Senegal comes from Geoffrey Cower, who in 1930 encountered Wolof men who were called Góor Jigéen, which translates to men-women. In other words, men who behave and dress femininely. Cour would even go on to elaborate and say, quote, "They do not suffer in any social way, except the Mohammedans, aka Muslims, who refuse them burials," end quote. The fact that this word was used among the Wolof is important because the Wolof are the most populous ethnic group in Senegal. It's also noteworthy that most Wolof people, then and today, are Muslim, which is why this account about not bearing the Góor Jigéen is important. I think this detail is very telling because time and again we find that indigenous African religious and spiritual traditions rarely, if ever, penalized gay sex or identities. Yet it's the religions that came from outside cultures like Islam and Christianity where LGBTQ people are villainized. Again, another account in the 1950s from Michael Crowder, a British historian, saw young males waiting to be picked up in downtown Dakar, likely trying to hook up or participate in sex work. The term Góor Jigéen would be used to describe gay men and likely non-binary people assigned male at birth and trans women well into the 1990s, and some men in the Senegalese cities would even identify as such when interviewed. The historians did note that these identities were less tolerated in the Senegalese countryside, but that gay men seemed to blend into the larger urban cities. Plus, this term, Góor Jigéen, could apply to both the top and the bottom in same-sex acts between men. As I previously mentioned, gay men are much less socially accepted today, and even with all our scientific and medical advancements in the modern age, it's hard for people to imagine that we can regress. But it's true. We can gain and progress in some ways and regress in others. But history is proof that gay men in Senegal's past were just another social identity in Senegalese culture.